over at the village. Oh, there's a creeper. And honestly, this village is doing a pretty good job of recovering from the illager raids. Now, this is a nitwit or a twit, something like that. Oh, whoops. Oh, no. I was trying to interact with them, and usually they like shake their head, but I guess you can't even interact with that. I accidentally hit them. Let's watch out for the iron golem, which is over there handing a flower to nobody. Perfect. Ooh, and also, we have that villager. He's kind of glitched, stuck in there, but in fact, let's free you. Anyways, yeah, and like we just saw a little baby villager. Did it go in here? Yes. Here's a child villager, a baby villager. So when villagers breed, they produce these little kiddos. And yeah, I haven't seen any illagers, so maybe taking the banners was actually what takes away the illager spawning. I'm not too sure. But the reason I got excited about that villager that was stuck in here is that is a librarian villager that works at the lectern job block. Oh, also, I dug that up to try to get some cobblestone, and I forgot that's actually the giant hole that I patched. Anyways, so this is a librarian. They're very useful. It's really good to trade with these guys. This one takes paper. It looks like a lot of paper, and will give you an emerald or a lot of emeralds for a bookshelf. Now, they're not going to be the best early off. That's why I suggest using farmer villagers for trading. Let's see, we have a couple going on here. Let's go ahead and talk to this one. Let's see what he wants to trade. So Beet Roots. It's not the best trade because we're not going to be creating a lot of Beet Roots. I mean, we can, but... And that one's also Beet Roots. Alright, so to fix that, what you do is you break their job block, essentially taking their job away. And we can place it back down, although it doesn't matter because it looks like he already found another job at that job block. So it looks like we have 3 composters in use already. So let's see what he wants to trade now. Beet Roots. Nope, let's not do that. And you see... Oh, and then he found another job. Let's see. Still Beet Roots. Alright, well, maybe we'll be making a massive beetroot farm. So we won't worry about that for now. Let's see. I did put a crafting table down. I do need to harvest a lot more materials to make this village breeder. Yeah, it's going to be kind of annoying because I forgot I didn't bring any of my iron with me. So we'll be using stone tools, and it's a big process. But again, I'm not too concerned about aesthetics in this stuff. I just want function. So yeah, let me get rid of some of this extra stuff. Yeah, I don't need that. Arrows. Eventually we'll be getting crafting a bow, stuff like that. Alright, I did make a bunch more planks, and you know what, let's just go ahead and do that part for now. So, planks. Okay. Oops. And I also lost my axe, so we're back to ghetto harvesting wood. Yeah, so I might go back and get the iron, or I might just make a dig site here. Like a little mine shaft. I need cobblestone. Honestly, let's just make the floor out of this. Like I said, we're just going for functionality. Okay, because we just need a floor. And we don't even really need a floor. I've built several buildings with just grass. Don't tell anybody. But anyways, yeah. Okay, and really random. And eventually we might actually build, more beautiful, pretty buildings in the future. Anyways, the main goal of this is to talk variables. So this episode is all about variables continued. So in the last one we were talking about integer variables and using them in a simple adding function, which just adds 2 variable values together. Now I say that because it's actually adding the value that's stored in the variable, not the actual variable itself. So, and Python, it's not as big of a deal, but I know with Java, if you try to reference certain variables, yeah, let's make the corners dark wood, why not? You could get a memory address, and that could be a bit confusing because you're like, wait, no, I wanted the value that was stored in there. Well, then you have to reference what that then you have to reference what that thing is pointing to. And by that I mean, let's see, don't I have any dirt? Yes, I do have dirt. We're gonna finish the floor in here, or at least a little bit. So actually doesn't matter because we have a floor under the thing, as long as, I mean, mobs won't spawn under there, so we don't have to be worried about that. Alright. Basically, I just wanted something to set this post on. Okay. So, yeah, like I was saying, oftentimes the name of the variable is just the memory address for where that value is stored. So, if you try to use a variable in Java and you get back this a hexadecimal number, and we'll go into that later, that's just saying that's the place where that value is stored. Okay, so let's continue on building this thing, and basically I'm just building a giant structure to house the villagers. That's all we need to worry about. I also need to go get a bunch of beds, so that's a thing I forgot. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, we'll be doing a bunch of that back and forth gathering. Okay, so I really need to make some more tools. Ideally, I want to have diamond everything, because diamond is the best at, well, besides netherite, and we'll get into that even later too, but stone tools and iron tools, they work for now. Okay, so Python variables. We use ints for an adder function, and that's all fine and good, but you're also going to want to need to know what a function is. So, real quick, a function is a section of code. Oh, we're going to get really ugly with this. Forgive me. Alright. And that's... Again, our buildings will look prettier in future episodes, but for now, functionality. Okay, we have a big square. Let's actually... And they don't really need a lot of that. I don't want to make that log roof. Oh, yeah, we'll do it out of these. And also we can make a lot more of these slabs, so... I mean, planks, sorry. And we'll just use that for the ceiling. Okay, so back to variables. We used int variables, and that's all fine and good for storing a simple number. And by simple, I mean a number that doesn't require a decimal point. It's not a partial number. Actually, yeah, let's make it that tall. Okay, and so, in declaring variables in Python, all you have to do is just say the variable name, and then a single equal sign, and then the value you want the variable to be. So, like I said, it's a lot easier in Python than other languages, but it's not too complicated in other ones either. I mean, it's doable. So, oh, and this is going to look really ugly with that roof. I just realized. Oh, well, that's fine. Okay, so, and then as far as I was talking about... Oh, okay, well, let's talk about the print function that we were discussing a couple episodes back for our Hello World program. Now, Hello World is usually the first... Really? Okay. First program that a programmer learns in any language, because it is very useful for debugging, and, well, it's just useful all around. So, and also, we're going to go ahead and throw our bed down here so the villagers will start maybe making one more. Eventually, we're going to fill this thing up with beds. You know, a bed there, skip a space, another bed, skip a space, another bed, skip a space, another one. I didn't measure this or anything. I just wanted a big room with doors so we could get in and out of here, and the villagers can get in and out of here. They can pathfind and make it to these beds. And they will breed if we give them food. So let's... Actually, I really need... Alright, let's get some tools. And it's getting nighttime, so... I'm just going to start up a new mine quarry here. And actually, that spot that I covered... Oh, drowned is up there. Yeah, let's go to bed. It's nighttime. It's dangerous. So, anyways, so with that print function, the reason I bring that up is the print function. So print, open parenthesis, your text in quotes, and then close parenthesis. It only prints strings, or it only works with strings. So if you're going to try to check the value of an int variable, you need to do what is called casting. Now, to cast a variable to another type of variable in Python, and you can do it in all the other languages too. Well, how you would do that is, so say we have our num1 and num2 variables. Oh no, there's a creeper. And so if you encounter a creeper, back away quickly so they don't explode. And there you go. Usually they give you gunpowder, but this one was chintzy. Okay, anyways, so casting variables. And you're going to need this if, say, you wanted to use a print statement to test whether or not your num1 and num2 variables actually became the numbers that you wanted them to. And that's the first, like, very basic debugging, is checking variables to make sure that they are what you think they are. Okay, so in order to do that, you would type all lowercase print, because that's what the print function is. And while I talk, I'm going to get some dirt, because we're going to make a massive farm while we do this, so we can work with the villagers. But anyways, so you do lowercase print, and then open parenthesis, double quote to start the string, and say maybe something like num1 is, and then space, and then you would close the quotes with another double quote, and then you would add a space and then a plus sign, and then you would do str, then open parenthesis, num1, close parenthesis, space. Or actually, that's good there. You don't need the space at the end. So, and that's how you cast something. The str and then the parentheses with that. That will change the int into a string representation, so it can be printed by the print function. And I'll add an example of this in the description of this video. I'll just try to remember that this one's about casting. So casting is very useful for debugging and being used in connection with the print function. So, and then what that will do is that line of code will actually print num1 is, and then the value of num1 in a string form. So in the console, you'll see that printed out if you run the program. So, and we'll also get into that as well. Like I said, computer science is very complicated. It takes a lot of time and effort, but really just stick with it. Yeah. So casting variables, that's very useful. And also you might end up needing a decimal representation. Okay, so since you don't use keywords to tell the computer what type of variable it is in Python, Python just makes its best guess. If you want to make a variable that has a decimal, has a partial value to it, you would initiate it as something like 0.0. So that would tell Python, oh, this is supposed to be a double, or sorry, a floating point. Honestly, I think doubles are also decimal numbers too, but I haven't used them in Python. I use them in Java, but we haven't talked about them yet in Python. But anyways, I do know for a fact that float is a floating point decimal number. And what that means is it has the decimal portion, so you can have a partial number or a fraction of a number in addition to the int. Sorry, tongue-tied. Alright, so we've got a lot of dirt. Let's pick a spot. I mean, we might as well just build out from where all this is. I mean, we have a water source. We have a nice river. I don't know if we're actually going to need it. There's another drown. Oh, and also, harvest the sugarcane when you can, because we are going to need that. I'm just going to replant it down so it grows a lot more, because we're going to need it for paper, which will then turn into books, which will then turn into bookshelves, and we'll use that for our enchanting setup. Okay, and the farm. I want to make a nice big... let's see here. Because I want it nearby so it's handy. Sorry, I'm having a thinking moment here. How do I want to do this? Because eventually we're going to want to have a ton of crops. It's kind of a big project. We already have some villagers. Alright, yeah. Anyways, so we've got casting down. So we got that. I'm just going to build a long round area. So we have casting. That's going to take some practice. And variables. Alright, so string variables. Say we wanted to change a string variable in Python. Well, you can't do that. They are immutable. And what that means is you can't change them once they've been built or declared or stuff like that. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting a call, getting distracted left and right here. So, if you're wanting to create a new string, or that's what you would have to do, is you would have to create a new string from a string you already have. And I do that a lot in a lot of programs I do, I will declare a variable called return string, which is the string that I intend to return once I'm done with the function. And I've built the string that I need the program to do. So, oftentimes, yeah, feel free to do that. That's good practice. And let's see, I need my bucket and some slabs. And we're going to go ahead and count out. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Let's just keep building this landmass. We're going to be making a giant farm that's going to contain all the crops we're going to use to trade with the villagers. Trust me, there is a method to this madness. And you could really just make your farms a lot different than this. This is just how I like to do it. And also I just realized we're going to need to fill this in. Because otherwise, when we try to fill the water, it's going to go down, and it's going to fill all under here. And yeah, well, let's go ahead and just start making our little farm. So we got, say, from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and voila, there's our first one. Now, need this so we can walk on it. Just put a slab for covering the top part of it. There you go. So that is actually a waterlogged block, meaning all the blocks 4 spaces out in every direction are going to be plantable. So that's our first crop. And now we can go ahead and make our second one. Okay. And let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we go. And there we are. So there's our second one. And already we're way bigger than what we need to be. So we can keep it simple for now. We'll just do like we have back at our home base and just have it too wide. I'm going to need more dirt, but that's okay. Alright. Actually, I have quite a bit of dirt. Never mind. So let's keep doing this. Alright. So variables, let's see. Making a new string variable. So, and that's actually going to be in conjunction with what we'll learn in a little bit called loops. Loops are very useful for repeating the same bit of code over and over for a certain length of time. And yeah, I'll definitely have a whole episode on control flow and loop logic. Again, I'm trying to basically reconstruct what I've already done on my Borderlands series. I mean, I definitely covered all this stuff, and now it's kind of repetition, but that's fine. Like I said, repetition is great for computer science. You want to do it over and over until you understand it thoroughly, stuff like that. So, let's see. Okay. Yep. And how are we doing? Let's kind of get a feel for this here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so actually, we have enough that direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, yeah, we're good. So, I'm going to just add a little extra on the edge so we don't keep falling off like that. Alright. And we're out of dirt. Oh, look at that. Or no, just kidding. Okay, and there. Why not? Alright, and let's... Wait, did we already waterlog that? We did. Okay, so we've got 2 grow spots. That's good for a starter. And also, we do have the farms that the villagers were so kind to provide us with as it is. And let's see. Let's move this up. Make a couple... Well... let's organize this a little bit. Usually when I'm playing, I like to have my sword there, my food, and my torches all kind of handy at the beginning. And I make a couple open spots so when we harvest this, we pick it up. Now, we're going to set these up just like we did with our own farm, alternating crops so they grow faster. Now we've got potatoes. And in fact, I'll probably add potatoes to our starter farm at some point. Alright, and let's go ahead. These don't matter, I mean, you know, as long as this row alternates with this row, we'll be good. And this one is already beet roots. We can harvest the beet roots and just start building up a nice stash. So, ooh, also what I want to do, yes, let's make this a super ugly building. And let's have some polished granite in there too. Nice. Now, we'll do this from the other side. I want a way to get into our villager building from the outside. Now, I was going to just wall the villagers off from the outside because I was worried about the illager problem, but since it doesn't seem like any of them have respawned, I don't think that'll be an issue. So I'm going to borrow one of these doors here. since we don't need two doors going to the same patio. That's kind of weird. And I'm going to create, let's see, in the middle we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this one. So what I basically just did is split the middle. There's going to be 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on each side. So we have the middle here, and we have a path to the outside. Also, it is nighttime, so let's sleep. Okay, so let's see. String variables, like I said, you want to create new string variables if you're going to be messing with them, trying to change them. So then you can build the new string variable from the old one. And again, we're going to have to get into loop logic to kind of really understand that part. Let's make a stair. All right. So then we can come out here and there, oops. There, that's what I was trying to do. Okay. This way we have a nice little porch, just kind of get in and out of so we can kind of go back and forth. Oh, come on. There we go. Nice. So we can walk up here. We already have our Librarian Villager there. And like I said, we're going to... Oh, these blocks make interesting sounds as you walk over them. Anyways, we're going to be having a bunch of beds, a bunch of villagers. Well, we need to give them food. And the best food, unfortunately, is wheat, which... Oh, and there's another creeper. That's annoying. Alright. So we've got this food growing. We do need a stone hoe. I could harvest the... Actually, you know what? I said it was dangerous, but we're going to do it anyway. So let's talk about golems real quick. Iron golems are made out of iron, and they also don't do anything with creepers, which is kind of disappointing. But you can harvest them. Oh, there's a cleric villager. Nice. Let's see. Let's find that golem. You can harvest them to get their iron. Now, you could also create another mine shaft. Ooh, actually, this is handy. He's stuck in a pen. Now, you got to keep your distance because they've got quite the reach, and... Okay, that was a lot. That was very anticlimactic. Alright. So anyways, I needed iron to make shears so I can start harvesting wool so I can start building beds. Okay. And there's that knit or twit or whatever they're called. I'm not too sure. Alright, so now, actually, can I just... Yeah, I can just craft them. Sorry. Sometimes you don't need a crafting table. And I have an extra piece of iron. That's going to be handy. But I'll probably make an actual mine over here. Anyway, so we do have some sheep, and I do have some wheat. I'm going to use that wheat to breed... Oh, come on. I'm going to use the wheat to breed the sheep so I can get more sheep, more wool. More wool equals more beds. There. That's kind of what I'm doing. And let's see. So, yep. We'll have some black beds from this. Oh, and see the hearts that are showing up over that villager's head? That means that villager has enough food, and yep, there's another villager. They're going to create... Let's watch this real quick. A baby villager. Alright. And that might be because we threw down that bed and they had an extra bed space. But it could also be that they're repopulating after being nearly wiped out from the illagers. Alright. Now, I'm going to get this sheep since it's here. Eat some food. Okay. And... Very good. Oh, okay. I thought that was like a ravine. Alright, so yep, and like I said, I am going to... I need to fix this. This isn't good. This village is pretty sporadic, and they do kind of spawn like this, very random. Alright, so let's breed the black wool sheep, so we will get a baby sheep that also has black wool. Now, the only reason I'm doing that is because, I mean, we have white wool and black wool, so it's not a huge deal, since we have white sheep running around. But basically, when you're building beds, you need to have the same color wool, I'm pretty sure. And let's go check out the crafting table, because we have some wool, we have some planks, since we made a bunch of dark oak. And that's why I like harvesting the dark oak trees. You get a bunch of trees, or a bunch of wood. Alright, so back to the crafting table, and we can make a bed. We can only make a white bed because we have 3 white wool, although we do have technically 7 wool. That's what I was saying is, we can't actually make a second bed because we don't have the same color wool. So something to kind of pay attention to. I mean, we get 1 bed. It's going to be a bit of a tedious process, and that's fine. But now we have another bed for our villager breeder. Okay, and let's see. Let's go ahead and start stocking up our food pile here. We'll harvest as we go, and for now we'll just throw them in there all willy-nilly. Beetroot seeds. Eventually, I'm also going to be making a composter just like we did at our starter base because we're going to end up with a lot of seeds. Oh, and if you see a sheep, go ahead and take its wool. Alright, so those crops are growing. They'll grow a lot faster now that we alternated the rows. We should go back and check all the other crops. Let's see. Yeah, because see, these are beetroots, 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 and beetroots. Alright, what else do I have? Oh, I just put the... Let's make wheat. That's a good idea. Well, wheat would be good to alternate with this. And once you get your villagers set up, you'll know more what you want to start growing. So that's good for now. I don't think we have any other wheat growing. But we're going to want wheat because in order to breed villagers, the best food to give them is bread. And why is that? Well, it only takes 4 bread, I think. Oh, also, let's get some free leads from this guy. Because I don't think you can actually craft these things. Yes. And the llamas will spit at you. Okay, so it's going to be a bunch of running around. I do have 1 iron ingot. Let's see, did I see another iron golem? Oh, and a little word of caution. If you're going to be harvesting the iron golems, quote unquote, you need to be careful because sometimes they do have memory of being upset with you and they might attack you after they respawn. So a little pro tip. Yeah, you can definitely harvest iron golems. Eventually we'll be making an iron golem farm in this world. And yeah. Alright, so the reason I say that is because we need a hoe. We need to start our farm. And yeah, so let's do that. Okay, back into our little village breeder house. Alright. Let's see what we need to make a hoe. I mean, we can make a wooden one. That's fine. Stone would be better. Oh yeah, what does it take? It takes 2. So we would need 2 pieces of iron to make an iron hoe. So, yeah, I'll just make a few wooden ones for now. I'm not too worried about it. And yeah, because basically I want to get this farm started so we can, and always get the wool. There we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And what do we have to plant? We just have beetroots now. We'll get wheat going here soon. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. And alternating rows. We only have 5, so we'll just do that. And now we also have potatoes, so we'll go ahead and get potatoes going too. I know, bear with me, this is very sporadic, but basically, oh, and carrots. So we'll do carrots, potatoes, beetroots, get a nice variety. And the reason we're doing this is because once we get the villagers to have the jobs that we want, by adding and removing the job blocks like I showed you, then we're going to be trading with the villagers with crops. Now, we'll clean this up a little bit better later. For now, I'm just trying to grow as much as I can, as fast as I can, so then we can set it up proper here in a little bit. So we've got beetroots, potatoes, more beetroots, and carrots. And that's actually, let's do carrots. I did 8 there, so that's fine. Did I do 7? Okay. Anyway, so yeah, we've got our farm started, and we've got villagers breeding. We've got wool that we're harvesting. In fact, we already have 12 wool, so if we have enough wood, we can make 4 more beds. And we shall do so. Okay, yep, 1, 2, 3. I don't have room in my inventory, but we'll do bed there, bed there, bed there, and eventually we'll just do 1, 2, 3 more beds. Yep, 1, 2, 3. Yep. Okay, so we only really need 3 more beds. We could also do beds like, say, here. You want spaces in between them so the villagers can get in and out of them. Let's see. We could do a bed there. We could do a bed there. It might get a little crowded, but again, like I said, I build these for functionality. I don't really care too much about... Ooh, also I just realized this would be good for an enchanting setup. So these are the bookshelves that we're going to be creating eventually. Let's go check on our sugarcane. Oh, there's a drowned. They just kind of like hang around. And do I have more dirt? Yes. So I want to make this to where I don't just fall abruptly, randomly. So let's do that. I mean, if I fall, I only want to fall like a spot or 2. I don't want to get surprised. That's fine. All right, and so none of our sugarcane is growing. That's okay. Sometimes it takes a while. I don't know if you can use bone meal on sugarcane, but by the end of this, we will have a ton of bone meal, a ton of crops, and a ton of farmer villagers. All right, and actually, go ahead and get these beet roots. Oh, I need another. Yeah, see, these are not alternating, so they're going to take a while to grow, but we don't really have anything else to plant since we kind of put all our stuff in there and here. Oh, but look, like these potatoes and beetroots, I'm pretty sure we just planted those a little while ago. This one's already grown, so that's good. And actually, we can harvest that. It's a slow process, but we can do that. And replace it. I'm going to wait until I actually have more. Oh, and more sheep wool. And we are past the 30-minute mark. Didn't really talk a lot about variables, and it's probably really confusing right now. Like I said, I'm trying to remember all the stuff I talked about in my other playlist for this one. And yeah, but don't worry, I will cover everything and then some that I did in my Borderlands series in this series. I just want to also make sure that we're doing good with... Oh, there's the kid sleeping. And you can pick any of these beds. But I also want to make this a pretty decent guide too. And like I said, we're already about halfway there to beating the main mission in the game, which is the Ender Dragon. All we really need to do is go to the Nether, get a couple things, build a couple things, find a couple things. Yeah, we're pretty much there. So, and then there's even more to do after that, which we'll do. We'll do all of it. Why not? I mean, this game's really fun. And the reason I play this game while I, do this is because I really like to take breaks when coding and just kind of meditate, and this game is definitely very peaceful, very soothing. This guy doesn't have a job. Actually, you know what? Nah, we'll leave him for now, because I don't know where the Iron Golem is, if there is one. Alright, well that's all for this one. Like I said, we'll continue up in the next one with our farm and villager breeder. Alright, thanks, bye.